Well, then in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, Southwest Tea gets released.
Yes.
Because of COVID fears and so forth. After he gets out, any contact with you guys?
Yes, I seen Terry about 6 months ago.
What was that like?
Me and Terry we family. So it was just like, it was something about the BMF series, that we feel something about me, Edric, and some people about that because the way they portrayed us and the way they have, dipped into our pockets and played us to where we're not really getting compensated like we're supposed to be, and we should because this is about our life. So he called me, seen him when he first came home, but it wasn't like it was supposed to be. I gave him a hug and all that, but he ended up calling me, and when he called me, where he told me to meet me at, I knew it was a safe haven, and we went, and it was like, I seen him yesterday. Remember, I hadn't seen him in 31 years. So me and my wife went. But, me and Terry grew up since we were 3. So we ain't got no beef. We have disagreements and all that, but we always one phone call away from anything. If I got a problem with him, I got his number. But when we did see each other, it was like I had seen my brother. It was like part of the 50 Boys was back.
Right. You just need Big Meeks to get out also.
That's the money shot. That's what I'm waiting on. If Meeks get out right now, and me, Meeks, Edric, and Southwest T take a picture right now, that's going to be the money shot. That's what I'm waiting on. That is my goal, to have that done, and I'm going to get it done.
Well, then in 2021, last year, the BMF TV series comes out. And like I said in the beginning of the interview, your character is called B-Mickie, and is played by an actor named Miles Truitt.
Yes.
Did you know that you were going to be depicted in the show?
I didn't know nothing about the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you watched the first episode, you were as surprised as everyone else?
No, I heard they was making a show on us. And I figured that, that if, they're gonna make a show on us, that we always about to get paid, hey, this is my life and all that. And 50 Cent came out to my neighborhood, and I hadn't got no calls or none from nobody. And he came out to my neighborhood, and like I said, I'm kind of like a little legendary out there, and I got about 25 calls, and they said, well, they out here filming y'all life story. And I was like, yeah. And I called somebody, and they were like, yeah, y'all got a story coming on Starz. I didn't know nothing about it.
Right, because they changed your name. You're not D Meeks on the show, you're B-Mickie.
Yeah, but that's D Meeks. He playing me, it's me.
Exactly. But that's how they get around paying you, by just changing the name.
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel some type of way about that?
Yeah, I feel a whole type of ways about it, but I'm trying to wait and see, in case I had to get like some representation and all that. My thing is, it's enough money for everybody. If you're gonna tell a story, and then it's the #1 show on Starz, why not just pay me, Edric and Kato? You're using our image. Everybody, if you go in the neighborhood right now and say, you can walk there right now and go and say, who is the 50 Boys? They gonna name them. Go on E-Course, go on Rouge. So I don't care if you say this B-Mickie is D Meeks. Some of the stuff might be changed a little bit and all that, but you selling the show off my life. I'm selling you. I'm getting you rich. I feel a whole, I don't want to say what I want to say there, but it's fucked up.
Right, because the Kato character on the show is actually based on someone named Lady?
No. Kato is Sabrina.
Okay, and Sabrina's who?
Sabrina is, she's a 50 girl. She's Kato.
Okay. And were you guys in a relationship?
No.
Okay. And you never killed her, I assume.
Kato is alive and kicking, man.
Okay. When you actually got to see the show, you watched the whole first season?
Yeah.
What did you think?
55% accurate, 45% fake. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff is real, you know, and a lot of stuff they do to make it seem like, you know, bam, 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 this is what it is. But, you know, we were in the streets real deep, but we not gonna tell you everything what we did in the streets. We don't know you. You know, you trying to make money. It's stuff that we did, people, we'll take to our grave. You know what I'm saying? You don't just come out and say, well, hey, because somebody want to do a story on my life. Well, let me tell you everything I did in the dope game. You know, I did this, I did this. You know, you got this to where you depicted me as whatever, but then you're not paying me, you know? But I'm selling the show. I'm one of the big topics on there. If you ask, most of the time, you watched the first season, what was your question? What did B-Mickie do this week?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great character.
Okay, but every week, what did you say? What did B-Mickie do? Is B-Mickie gonna do this? Or, you know, is Big Mitch and him cool? Did him and Terry get into it? Or, you know, we are all the best of friends. You know, we just ain't no take no shit from y'all.
I mean, the villain of the show, Lamar, who's based on Leighton the Beast Simon.
Yeah.
Do you think that was an accurate description of who he was?
It was, you know, that one, that's 95%. You know, Leighton would, I'm going to tell you a story. Leighton, like I said, we would be on the street called Saliet, which one of our major grounds that we would, you know, do all the hustle at. And he would come through E-Course in his Jeep, him and his boy, and he would have that Adidas suit on. Every other day, he have a different one with the Gators on. And he had a Jeep with some sounds in it. And you could hear him coming down the road playing You Can't Stop the Rain for about 9 blocks, right? And he would come up to us and stop right in front of us and just look at us, you know, for about 5 minutes. And we'd just be sitting there looking at him, you know. And then, you know, he would just sit there for a minute, you know, like he wanted a problem or something and all that, but he didn't want to set it off or nothing like that, you know, because like I said, the rain would have never stopped pouring.
Yeah, and from what I understand, you know, Leighton the Beast Simon is still alive. I guess he did an interview not too long ago.
I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't know nothing about Leighton. I don't even deal with Leighton, you know. Leighton is, you know, if he is alive, God bless him, you know, which would be a good thing because, you know, that means, you ever notice, if you ever interview a drug crew, out of the drug crew, 2 or 3 of them dead, you ever notice all of us still living?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing. So that means we must have been some type of way smart. We must have been some type of way to keep people off us. And we knew what to do to keep you from fucking with us and fooling with us. So look at that. Somewhere down the line, we must be kind of like slight geniuses.
Well, D Meeks, appreciate you coming in and telling your story. I mean, the 50 Boys, I mean, I was already familiar with them because of what I do and the people I interview, but I think, you know, you guys were put in history because of the TV show.
Yes.
And I felt that you were an important part of that story. And I think the most important part of this story is that at some point you were smart enough to realize that you have to pivot out of this life.
Yes.
And leave it all behind, because most people I interview who were in this game, you know, the story is always the same. You know, I want to do just that one more deal. I had that one deal I wanted to do, and afterwards I was going to be out.
Yeah.
And that last deal is what got him life in prison, like a Freeway Ricky Ross or, you know, or a Convertible Burt or so forth. It's like, you know, it's very hard to, you know, let go of that easy money and actually go and work a 9-to-5 job and pay taxes and deal with a boss and, you know, go back to being a civilian. But you were smart enough to realize that. And here we are in 2022. You're healthy. You're alive. You know, you're married. I assume you have kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're taking care of your family. And that's a lot better than a lot of the friends that you probably grew up with who are down with you.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you one thing about that before we go. When we was the 50 Boys, we had a certain time that we would cut off sometime. Like by 9 or 10 o'clock, we'd be hanging with our women. Or Terry would be at home doing the business and all that. it's a thing like if we be out there from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night, if we ain't made when we done made by now, then we don't need to make it. Because like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, ain't nobody coming out but somebody trying to jack or rob you. And then that's just adding more trouble to where we might have to do something that we didn't want to do or go to jail or something like that for nothing. So to keep all that out the way, why do it? 9 o'clock come, whatever we made, that's what we're gonna make today. And by then, we done made plenty of money. But you can't have all the money.
Yeah. And I think the best example of that is, the 350 boys, you, Southwest T, and Big Meech. Two of you guys wanted all the money. And one of you said, I've made enough.
Yeah.
And the two that wanted all the money ended up getting 30 years in prison.
Yes.
And, granted, Southwest T got out a little bit early. We don't know how long Big Meech is going to last, in that cell before he gets out. But, the reality is that they lost a lot of their lives in a cell.
Yeah.
Whereas you got to actually live your life and hang out with your kids and you know what I mean? Go eat wherever you want to eat and, have a level of freedom that they did not experience no matter how much money they had stashed aside.
Yeah. I've been out since 95 and I haven't been back since. I don't plan to go back. If I hustle, it's going to be a different type of hustle way. It's different type of ways of hustle, but I'm not finna go back and try to sit up in prison. Prison is hell. I'm a rebel from Iowa, bro. You heard that when public enemy say that shit? Prison is below hell. And it's just not no place I want to be, and I'm not going to try to be no more where I can be out here enjoying my life and having fun. And, and then sometimes the littlest stuff means so much now to me that I never could see before. So I'm thankful that God has blessed me to see this.
That's how we're going to end it. D. Meeks, appreciate you sharing your story. Wish
Free
you all
Big
the best.
Meech. Thanks
Free
a
Big
lot.
Meech. Peace.
All right.